whether it's getting me clear. Tinashe? Tinashe Bonde? Yeah. Before I proceed, my name is Kudzanai Vere. I'm the founder and director of programs at Transformational Mindset Institute. I'm the founder and CEO of Kudford Enterprises, which has Kudford Logistics, Kudford Manufacturing, Kudford Advisory Services. Yeah, those are those three companies. They fall under the holding company. I'm also the founder and executive president of Premium Business Network International. This is an organization that seeks to network all economic players for their mutual benefit. I'm an editorial board member for Center for Organization, Leadership and Development. Mr. Vere is a sought-after speaker in the areas of entrepreneurship, personal development, financial literacy, and organization development. I have over 18 years hands-on and practical experience in managing companies, having worked for several blue chip companies in Zimbabwe. I've gathered a lot of experience before I decided to quit to start my own businesses. I have spoken to over 100,000 people around the globe to date, coaching and mentoring in the areas of entrepreneurship, personal development, financial literacy, and organization development. I'm someone who enjoys developing people so that they become the best version of themselves. You understand, quite a number of people are living below and far below their potential and capacity. We work with inherent abilities within ourselves, but it is unfortunate that only a few are tapping into those abilities and making them a reality. Most of the times is because of the blame shift that is centered on either the economy, lack of capital, or other things that they can point on to. But I'm telling you today that all those things that you point fingers at, they are not the causes of where you are right now and who you are as a person. The culprit has been found today, and if you look closely at it, it is you guys who are listening to this conversation today, your mind. We so much inferiorate ourselves to such an extent that we fail to take what I call the first leap in terms of our businesses. I had a conversation yesterday that I themed the moment of truth, rejecting pay for profit. I was addressing over 257 people. After the presentation, quite a number of people came to me and asked me, Mr. Vere, you know, we have heard you, but how can we start? We no longer want to continuously be underpriced in the form of receiving salaries, because I gave them a definition of being employed. If you are employed, what you are simply telling them and yourself is, I do not have anything meaningful in terms of business to do or to spend my 8 hours or whatever number of hours that you spend at your workplace doing than donating them to you at this little that you are giving me. So these guys are putting us price tags on us as our value. Then my question this afternoon is that your worth? If you divide the number of hours, total number of hours per month that you work, and the salary that you are getting, obviously you get your value per day. And if you divide by the number of hours per day, you will get your value per hour. And why I rebelled against employment and got into this entrepreneurship journey is I did those arithmetics and found out that I was being undervalued for years. Then one day I took an A4 paper, writing one, and my blue pen. I made the pen meet the paper in the form of penning my resignation. I faxed it to my superior, who immediately get hold of the phone. Mr. Vere, what's wrong? You are doing very well on that branch. What's wrong? What's wrong with you, Mr. Vere? Then I said, nothing wrong, my boss, nothing wrong at all, but I've chosen to move. I didn't give them notice to 3 months notice because I really, this mentality of saying I'm being underpriced and I'm being undervalued for quite some time was so much overwhelming in me that I didn't have any time to wait. When the boss drove from Harare to here, my last employment port was Kadoma. He drove and he came to this place that I had started some groceries. And he said, Mr. Ferry, are you sure that this thing can be sustainable and you can succeed in this small business? And then my answer to him was, it was called Mr. Banda. Mr. Banda, I'm 100% sure and confident that I will succeed. In any business, I understand there are hurdles that I will meet and I'm prepared to meet them. I have to fail for me to succeed. And indeed, I had to fall down and fail 4 times before coming the person that I've become today. So you just have to start from where you are with what you have. And we'll say, capital, I don't have capital. And this other guy came to my inbox and said, you need to buy equipment so that you use in the event that you choose to resign and start your own thing. Then I said, this is the mentality that I'm challenging here. Why do you want to start equipment when you don't have the capacity or the resources to start a business that requires so much equipment? Mind you, when I started my manufacturing business, I only started with 4 cases of that milk-based drink product. And off I went. So you need to start small and grow gradually. There is beauty in seeing yourself falling and picking yourself up in the business trajectory. Then the reason why I encourage people to start small is you need to develop muscles, business muscles. Business has quite a number of things that can block you and that can stumble you around. So you need to develop the capacity. You need to learn the systems. You need to learn the ropes. If you start with that big amount, it is okay as long as you are capacitated mentally, you have enough support systems to uphold the level of capital that you would have started with. Then one weighed in and say, Mr. Vere, 7 out of 10 small businesses that starts, they flop and fail. Only 3% are the ones that flourish. Then I said, yes, indeed, when you start a business, you should know that you are going to fail. Obviously, you're going to fail along the way, but what you then do or choose to do after you have fallen, that is the thing that matters in your business journey. You need to dust yourself up, learn from your mistakes, and move on. Ask all the billionaires today, world over, they will tell you the number of times that they have failed. We have this usual example of our Thomas Edison, of the light bulb. The light bulb had to lie or choose to do so the 1,000th time, 999 times, he was failing, but he didn't give up. Then you tell me that you want to quickly resign and drop off the idea of your business because you have fallen or failed 4 times. If Thomas Edison had that similar mentality, we could be in darkness. It will come through to carry on the bulb journey. Anyway, this is just an introduction. I want us all to introduce ourselves fully. Today, it will be more of a conversation than me presenting to you guys, because I obviously know that you might be having issues. It's not good to be presenting and pampering information out always without hearing and having your side well spelled and discussed about. The very reason of these conversations is to take people from where they are right now through the entrepreneurship journey to a level where everyone will be standing firm on their feet. I have introduced myself, Mr. Vere, as the host. Mr. Nyasha, you can give us a brief introduction so that everyone comes to a picture of who you are. The beauty of these conversations are they form a robust network of like-minded people, of which if you are in business X, doing X products, whose products are also forming input in my business, obviously afterwards, I can just give you a ring. Mr. Nyasha, I need so and so quantity. I'm sending my truck to your company. Please, can you give me a ton, 2 tons, or 20 tons of your product? That forms business. Networking is my part 4 of my book, Becoming a Person of Impact. I usually tell people that the challenges and problems that we are facing right now, the solution to it are 2 or 3 people away from ourselves. So you need to make to get your people factor right. Over to you, Mr. Nyasha.
Okay.
Nyasha.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Clearly.
Okay. All right. My name is Nyasha Perekwa. In terms of age, I celebrated my 40th birthday recently on the 9th. By profession, I'm still employed. I'm an accountant, a chartered accountant with the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, ACCA. I'm working for an insurance broking company. It's called WFDR, formerly Alexander Forbes. So basically, that's what we do. We come, we understand your business, we try to figure your risks, and then give you a solution. And then, on a personal note, I am trying my hand in farming, horticulture. Basically doing the small vegetables, the cabbages, the broccoli, cauliflower. I do supply when I have stock to companies like Sunspan, Brands Fresh, and I was supplying Cresta Jameson Hotel until they closed just before the onset of the COVID. Yeah. And then what else I do, I'm an agent for ZB Bank on their electricity vending. So it's basically a network business where I sell electricity to my friends, my colleagues, people, SMEs, things like that. And I want to grow that business because I think it's a silent money, it's a passive income if you have the network where instead of, I think when we buy electricity, we buy it maybe from TM, OK. They also get commission, just like I'm doing. So I'm seeing myself competing with those big guys, although I'm a startup still doing, but because we do the same thing, we earn the same commission. We are selling electricity on behalf of the TDC. So I'm part of that channel. So I'll be interested to be groomed how I can increase on those personal notes and also even the company business, because we also earn commission even when we introduce people to the company. I think that's it in short. Yeah.
Oh, great. Good to hear. Thank you so much for that introduction. I'm so much interested in your farming business. I'm also interested in your electricity business, the agent, ZB agents business that you are also doing.
Yeah, sure.
We will talk about that. Greta Karimanzira, how are you? You can introduce yourself, Greta. How is the UK?
Yeah, it's all right. It's just that it's raining, but it's meant to be.
It's raining.
Yeah, we've had
Okay.
weather for the past 2 weeks, but yeah, it's raining.
Wow.
So basically, I'm 27 years old, and when I went to uni, I studied mathematics for finance and management. But at this point, I started 2 businesses. So one, it sells inks, ink toners and cartridges, which are recycled, and the supplier is actually based here in the UK. So what we've noticed, especially in countries like Zimbabwe, South Africa, like most African countries, people buy inks, but sometimes they're being told that they're actually original, yet they're paying for counterfeit and they're not good product, or they're actually not buying the originals and they're actually being sold at the same price as the originals. But what we do is to try by all means to help our customers save on whatever they're spending on their ink, so we can give a discount on the invoice, or we can, if they're actually buying the originals, we'll just give a discount on the original pricings. And all our inks, they've been tested, they have all the certificates and everything. And also about 2 weeks ago, we came up with another strategy where, well, actually in before, like so how we were moving our inks in Zimbabwe, it's looking for other people who could help us get customers, and we give them a commission. And now we also came up with another idea where if we sell, so let's say we have any company that we're supplying to, if they have a charity organization that they support, we contribute 5% to their named charity. Or we've also engaged with a few charity organizations where if they don't have, they can just pick a charity, and then 5% of the sales, we give it to a charity organization. And then the other business, I'm not so sure, because most of the people that we've been talking to, the project hasn't, like, not so many people know about it. So right now we're actually working on a proposal to put through in Zimbabwe, but in South Africa and Namibia, the people that we're working with, they've already put up the proposal. So basically it's they're called magnesium boards, which are used for construction, which are cheaper, not because they're cheap quality, but it's a cheaper way of building houses. And on that same board, the board is soundproof, water resistant. It's as good as the cement, but also a cost-effective way of building. So that's basically those are the 2 companies that's what I do. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Nyasha. We are getting to know new things from the UK there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, especially the cartridge business. Nyasha, you're in Harare, right?
Yes.
That can also be your side, the cartridge business on commission. I understand Greta can be giving you on consignment.
Yeah, sure.
Greta, am I right there?
Yes, oh, correct. And also I forgot to mention that for any of the customers that we get introduced to, we actually give them a free sample so that they feel comfortable and use the product if they like it. And then obviously they can come and order from us. So yeah, so right now on our database, we've actually got some big companies as well. So yeah, it's been going well.
Oh,
yeah.
Great stuff, eh?
That's exciting.
Great stuff. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. We have yet another person, NM, who have just joined us. Greetings, NM. Hello. NM. Yeah, I think they could be probably sorting out their audios there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, she's my friend and partner there. So I've asked her to join in.
Sorry?
I asked her to join in. She's
Sorry?
a friend and partner. So yeah, maybe.
Okay, is someone from your side?
Yes.
Oh, great stuff. I think she's facing a connection challenge, but I think she can obviously join us as we go.
Yeah, sure.
One question, Greta there. Greta?
Yeah.
One question. Is this your own company or you also employed that side?
No, so this is what I do full time. So yeah, this is my own company.
Great stuff. Good to hear. Yeah. Greta, let me start with you, Greta.
Okay.
How was starting that kind of business in a foreign land? And how are you seeing the issue of penetrating into other markets? How did you actually start your business? Because I do have Nyashaparekwa, yes, he is now into farming, but from how I read his mind, he could want to obviously venture into other businesses apart from farming. We want to discuss and the hassles.
Okay, so I'll start like I think it was in 2017 when I wanted to start the business of selling inks and everything, but that was just soon after I came from uni, and it was quite difficult for me because with our supplier they actually don't sell the inks on credit, so in terms of capital it was a bit tight, and I also think because still young, didn't have like a proper plan and everything, it just died down. And then I even dissolved the company. And then later on, and then so here in the UK, the people that were mostly like buying from me, it was actually friends who were just supporting me. But it's not easy here because the same product that I'm selling, there's actually so many companies and so many big companies that are selling the same product. And also all these other big companies selling the same product, they also sell other stationery, but on my side, it's just inks. And I think in this country, most people, they just want where they just order and everything is just delivered, not they have to order inks from somewhere else. And then, yeah. And then, so, just doing some more research, and then that's when we found out. So when we were approaching customers, especially in Zimbabwe, you could hear everyone is just scared, like, are you sure that your inks are good enough? And obviously we said we have the certificate, and we actually don't even hide behind any brand, because some other companies are doing the same thing that we do, selling remanufactured inks. They would sell them in a packaging that's written HP, but we have our own product. Like, we have our own brand that we're putting up there. So our toners are premium toners, so we have nothing to hide. And also the difference with all the other toners, even the originals and everything, with our supplier, what they've done, because in the past when someone buys inks, they would actually give you a fault toner and put the blame on you. But what they've done is, for all of our toners and ink cartridges, we actually have a serial number for each toner, which can also be traced back to the manufacturer. So I think now the easiest way, that when we started, when we had enough capital, because just going with someone selling the product, it was not easy, but actually going to a customer and saying that we'll offer you a free sample that you can use, and if you have any problems, we will take responsibility of everything. And then from then, obviously they use the product, and then they feel comfortable ordering from us. And also definitely our prices are good, so we always make sure that the prices are good. Like, yeah, we always negotiate with the customer. So yeah.
Okay. Oh, great stuff. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Greta, for that clarity on what you're doing in the United Kingdom there. Before I move on to Nyasha. I just want to share with you the basis of the conversation. What do we call an entrepreneur? Because our conversations are specifically entrepreneurship conversations. So you need to be informed on what an entrepreneur is and what entrepreneurship means or entails, and the steps or the processes that will make one a high voltage entrepreneur or an entrepreneur of note and of repute. According to myself, an entrepreneur is a person who identifies opportunities in the marketplace and uses his or her unique endowments to solve people's problems for a fee within a setup that is called a business, obviously bearing all the inherent risks and the rewards therein. That is an entrepreneur. Why do we as an institute talk about entrepreneurship the most? It is because it is out of entrepreneurship that a lot of economies stand, a lot of economies are built, and a lot of economies are sustained. 90% of people are doing a copy-paste type of business, which does not bring out that value which is so much required by our economies. Look at Africa, for an example. We are almost a net importer of the things that we use. We don't really manufacture from within our borders because of the copy-paste mentality, the ideology that we as an institute are challenging. Obviously, as a starting point, you can be doing the copy-paste type of business, but our edge as an institute is people should become so much unique and be innovative in their approach to business to such an extent that they come up with a product or a service with their own fingerprints, a product or a service that speaks of their name. We need not necessarily be all generating or coming up with a new brand or a product. To qualify as an entrepreneur, you should be getting into probably an existing market with a new product, or getting into an existing market with an existing product, but with an innovative or unique way of delivering that product or service. You qualify to be an entrepreneur. Or you can be getting into a new market with a new product, or a new market with an existing product, but a unique way of delivering that kind of a product or a service. You qualify to be an entrepreneur. So entrepreneurship is all about being uniquely innovative in solving socio-economic challenges, bearing all the inherent risks in anticipation of a profit. When we talk of entrepreneurship, guys, we are talking of something called a business that will give you profit at the end of it. That's entrepreneurship. If your intention is not profit making, then whatever that you are doing falls aside. It doesn't qualify to be called entrepreneurship. What I've done is I've come up with what I have called the DLRRP of entrepreneurship. When you want to venture into this entrepreneurship journey, the first thing that you have to do is to believe in yourself. What do I mean? You need to believe that the person you is capable of doing exploits in whichever area of your expertise or endeavor or the business line that you choose. Because how can you then make people believe you, or how can you convince them when at personal level you don't believe in yourself. That's the first point. You have to come up with a vision. Where do I want to be? First at personal level, and second at your company level. Having worked for quite a number of companies in Zimbabwe for 18 years, we were forced by companies to put their mission statement, pin them on the walls, company mission statement, to remember those by heart. To me, I then found it later on when I resigned useful to develop a personal mission statement and a personal vision statement, and also develop one even in your own company. Set yourself goals, a clear mission statement, and a clear vision. Afterwards, you move on to the D of my DLRRP of entrepreneurship. D standing for designing. When you want to venture into any business regardless of size, you need to come up with almost something close to a 3D design. You know, builders and those architects, they come up with a 3D design of whatever building or construction that they would want to undertake. That design informs them of the kind of building that they want to erect. They would be having a clear picture, mental picture of the building in mind. So designing your company or designing your business is not a walk in the park. It's not an easy task. You need to have learned, you need to be informed of the various nitty-gritties, having done a feasibility study, having consulted extensively in that area, so that whatever design of your business that you come up with speaks to your vision, speaks to your goals, and speaks to your mission. And how do you come up with the design? Obviously, you would have identified your area of passion. I always tell people that any sustainable business should be hinged on passion and nothing else. What is passion? Passion are those things that you really feel you are not coerced to be doing. Those things that you just hear, or you just feel your blood flowing very well when you are doing them. No one wakes you up to be doing those things. Those are the things that you are passionate about. The second point is you should build your business around your expertise, your areas of expertise. I'm glad we have Nyasha Parekwa here, who is a chartered accountant by profession. You have been a chartered accountant obviously for some time, so my advice is building your business around figures. Build your business around informing people about the beauty of numbers. For your own information, Nyasha, SMEs are not doing, in fact, are not doing even 5% of what they should be doing in terms of bookkeeping, in terms of record keeping, in terms of knowing their numbers. I have friends who have failed dismally during this burning era in Zimbabwe, calculating the percentages, saying I've been given at this percent, how then am I going to arrive at a price of this product of mine? People failed dismally to such an extent that their companies flopped and they are now non-existent. So having your business, coining your business around informing people of their inadequacies, that can be great business for you, because SMEs are the ones who are sustaining local economies and the national economy. So I'm speaking into this point, addressing the issue of passion. Once you build your business around your passion, you will be so much innovative around those areas because that's your way of life. Everything or anything that you are passionate about, it forms your muscles, it forms your skeleton, it forms you as a person, it forms your identity. I am also an accountant, a public accountant by profession. I have a business that deals with that.
Okay.
I'm assuming that I'm making sense to someone here.
Yes.
So your design should incorporate all those things, your passion. I normally tell people that you need to convert your passion to your life purpose and to your profession. These three are interrelated and interlinked. After having designed your business, the designing also speaks into the systems that are going to be helping you or assisting you to control all the activities that happens within your business. So by designing is not an easy job. I laugh at people who then say after having been given 1,000 loan by a microfinancier, they jump into procuring stocks around that business that they want to operate, without coming up with an operation procedure manual, without looking into internal controls, without a clear plan of their business. You understand this common phrase that failing to plan is planning to fail. Lack of planning in small businesses is the chief or major reason why 70% fail and only 3% survive. They do not have plans. They just do, they are being pushed by wind. So I'm done with designing your business. Before I move on to launching it, allow me to open the floor for questions around the area of designing your business. Greta?
No, I think I understand. Fine.
Sorry?
No, I think I don't have any questions. You explained.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Was I clear?
Yes, you were, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Nyasha.
Okay, thank you. It was quite clear, but on the question of passion, is it possible to be passionate about something which is new to you? Like I'm an accountant, but I want to be doing agriculture because I know agriculture is the cornerstone of the country, and I know I'm going to retire one day, and know there's land can be obtained, things like that. How do you then build that passion to that opportunity?
Oh yeah, thank you so much for that question. Just a moment. Signing is right. Indeed, let me just give you my example. I'm a certified public accountant by profession.
Okay.
But I was never employed as an accountant for the 18 years I've worked in companies. I was a branch manager. Okay. But my mind was full of figures. I wanted figures so well, but I didn't practice. My passion was in communicating with people. My passion was in developing minds. So as such, though I've got this other business that falls within my profession, I do accounting and other things that are related to accounting here at Goodford Advisory Services. Okay. I then started Transformational Mindset Institute, whose main aim is to impart knowledge and information to people through training. and making sure, and even going down on the ground and make sure people are doing what you have agreed is right in business. I'm also getting into mining. So you can have 2 or 3 areas that you are so passionate with. What defines passion is the things that your heart beats when you think about them, things that you really want, things that you've fallen in love with. Those forms your areas of passion.
Okay.
Like your farming, like we have said, I'm in the process of acquiring a plot. I want to do farming. I have shared a video in most of my groups. Probably you might have seen it. I'm brooding some. In fact, I've started a road runner business, and I'm looking to be doing that at large scale. These are the things that I've just also seen in the marketplace. I have identified an opportunity. To date, we don't have refrigerated trucks delivering the road runners as business, delivering them in OKs and TNs. But people really enjoy road runners. They like them. But no one has started or has developed the road runner business to those levels, the levels of Ivins, levels of these other chicken companies. Because we are thinking otherwise, we are failing to innovate around those areas. But it's brisk business.
Yeah, true.
I think you are answered. Your area of passion and your areas of passion, a person can have 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Let me move on to my second point, which is launching your business. Launching your business or launching your entrepreneurship journey. I have told people in most conventions and conferences that I have presented, our mind can be a very good factory of ideas. You can be renowned of generating nice ideas, but they will remain ideas encased between these 2 ears. And quickly and obviously, they will die a sudden death. When ideas doesn't get implemented, the obvious thing that will happen to them is they will eventually die. So there is a difference between having an idea or having a nice design of a business and launching it. I think you have seen this. I can give you a living example. The house that I'm almost finishing now, the plan was done in 2007. Then it was shelved. We can't say I've got a house there or I have got a business there, referring to a plan that is shelved. You are as good as having nothing. People can only start seeing a house when work is being done on the ground, when there is some pegging, when there is some excavating of the foundation, when there is some footing being done, and when there is the actual launching of the housing project. So in as much as you have a plan and an idea, it doesn't make sense to you and others. It should see the light of day. So the launching part is a part that I have seen people struggling with. We do have some people who, after having launched, they got misdirected with people's opinions. Why? Because they did not have a plan. They did not have a clear design. They did not have a vision. If you do not have a personal vision, you are bound to be blown in any direction by any wind. So launching a business, you need to have some funds, you need to have an idea. Someone asked me, how can I launch the business? I do not have funds. To this is always my answer. I wrote an article that is titled, Is Capital Really an Issue? Because to some people, the capital reason became a clash or a stumbling block into starting or launching their businesses. Let me tell you here, if you have got a very good design of your business, you have done your work right, your market research, you have identified the market to serve, and everything is promised outside there. For instance, let me use a simple business. You want to supply cabbages to OKNTM. You want to supply cabbages to any one of the biggest retail outlets in Zimbabwe. You secure your order stamped by the finance director or the buyer, whoever stamps the order, and you have sourced where to get the cabbage from. To get into the cabbage business, you don't necessarily need to be the producer of the cabbage if you don't have adequate funds. I'm talking about the issue of capital. If you approach any SEN or any bank, any financier with a stamped order and proof that indeed when you deliver the order, they will pay within an agreed period of time. I understand Nyasha knows what I'm talking about, order financing. Most banks will then ask you to open an account with them so that the money is transferred into their account, into your account that you have opened with them, so that they can access their cost of their cost of sales and leave the profit to you. That's another way of starting a business. And in some cases, you can be wanting to start on a business that doesn't require much capital. There are some businesses that doesn't require much capital, especially this business of speaking, invoicing. You just need to have your plan and design in order. Maybe a laptop to connect, especially these days. Before COVID, you could just need your food. You stand before people, your connections, and present for a fee. That's a business. Let's then talk of the big businesses that one might also start off forming, provided they've got adequate funds or capital. In your design, you need to have all the corner posts and the pillars of your business in place. If you want to start a retail outlet, obviously you need to have where to operate from. You also need to have all the systems in place. You also need to have the manpower in place. You also need to also be wired well enough in your mind as a person to be able to run that business, because running the business will be our third point. There is a difference between launching and running. Let me explain this. We had Afro Foods. I'm talking about the name because the company is normal. Afro Foods had the financial muscle because these were Chinese. They launched their business very well. They took over CFI's retail outlets. They launched it. The launching was successful. But they then failed on the running part. And maybe obviously the reason that they failed on the running part is because they did not have their D in the right place or position. Their designing was wrong. Your designing should be foolproof, because you have to test your design for all the inadequacies. That is why in building, when you have your plan done, you take it to the local authorities or experts who will then go through your plan, checking whether everything that should be there. If it is a house, they've got things that they check that should be visible on your plan when we then say this is a house. So when you want to open a retail shop, your design should speak into that. When you want to do farming, your design should also speak into the ideal things that are pertinent or relevant when you talk of farming. Any business has an ideal design, which should be checked to check whether everything necessary is in place. I'm done with launching. Any question?
No, I'm okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Let me move on the running part. Running a business is fail. Running a business is not an event, it is a process. So as is with every process that you might think about, it needs to have some supporting structures. Running needs some supporting structures. One, running needs systems. Running needs continuous improvement or development. There are issues of R&D within your running there. Let me just move on to my, I've spoken about designing, I've spoken about launching, I'm now on running. So it is one thing to launch, and it is yet another thing to run or sustain the business. I've spoken about Afro Foods. The company lasted only for a season in the market. Why? Because they failed to run the retail outlets. By running, you are giving life, not only life, but continuous life to your business. The running part, you need to make sure that everything else, you know, let me use a vehicle or an engine as an example. An engine cannot run, you cannot start and sustain the running of an engine without the pistons doing what they are supposed to be doing, without the rings playing their own part. Obviously, you should have the gaskets in place, and the prop shaft should be rotating, lifting all those pistons and doing what it should. One other important part of running a vehicle or an engine is the oil. The reason why we have the engines knocking is because of lack of oil within the engine. So a careful driver on the running part makes sure that in their driving journey, they are keeping a constant eye on their dashboard, seeing to it that the level of our fuel, the level of our oil, and at times opening the window, hear the sound the engine is producing. You can easily tell and detect that this sound is no longer the normal sound of my engine, and you stop and do the necessary checks of your engine. The same applies to running a business. A business is made up of various subsystems that connect to form the entire business capable of running and being sustained. So you cannot effectively run a business without, number one, an operating system, either manually or computerized. Two, a procedure manual. How are you going to be doing it? Who is going to be doing what and where? Like I have said of the engine of a vehicle, each and every part, small though it can be within your engine, has a very important role to play. Remove it, then you are stuck. So when running businesses, especially from an SME point of view, there are quite a number of critical issues that are overlooked when running businesses. That is the reason why we have 70% of failure rate in most SMEs. Like I've said, you need to have obviously staff, not only staff, but competent and trained staff. By competent, we mean everyone should be up to their task. They should know what they are doing. And that will also form a competitive advantage in the marketplace. From the explanation Greta gave of her business, it spoke to my ears that she is now an expert in that area. She now understands everything that happens within that business. So whoever that you are going to be employing in that business should obviously be inducted in the same way that Greta was inducted. Not only that, the experience and level of dispatch that Greta did in this conversation when I asked her about her business, it means that she also went on to further improve herself with continuous improvement, continuous learning. Continuous learning. I was muting Herbert Kambamura there. He had connected with his mic on. So I'm explaining the importance of the running part of your business. Running a business, that's where the business lies. Running the business is 80% of your business, because after having launched it very well and successfully, you need to be able to run that business. Make sure that every other player, every other aspect, everything else required to make your wheels turn is in place. And to make sure that you sustain your business, there are fundamental truths in any business that I would want to share you on the running part. The first one is keep a constant eye on the market. Keep a constant eye on the market. What do I mean? You need to understand the dynamics of your market. Obviously, our markets do change more often than not. And if you are not careful, and if you are continuously focused on your internal processes, you will go off rail, you will be overtaken by events. I'm likening this to the engine. In as much as you are focusing in the road ahead, you need also to be peeping on your rear view mirrors to see what's happening behind, though you do not, or you need not to spend most of your time looking at the rear view mirror, because you cannot be driving forward focusing on your back road or on the rear road. Your major focus should be on the front screen. That is where you are going as a company. What do I mean? I'm saying, in as much as we have to be checking on what our competitors are doing and what our other players in the marketplace are doing, you need to focus much and put much effort on your business. The other point, most important about running, is continuous improvement. The farming that has been taking place 80 years ago is totally different from the farming that's happening now. And the way we used to harvest then is different from the way people are harvesting now. There's now the use of combined harvesters. There are now the use of those machineries that are used to drop seed in the furrows. People are no longer doing it by hand. So as a farmer, you need also to be learning and seeing all those things and making sure that at some point you work towards applying and implementing this within your business. The other important point in running your business is research and development. You need to continuously research, continuously develop your systems. Of late, we used to have manualized systems in business, whereby we write manual cases. I remember when I was still a receiving clerk at Red Star Wholesalers, that was 2001 there in Nyanga. I used to do manual goods received vouchers. I used to be writing purchases analysis report manually using my calculator to compute 4 or 5 pages, the markup, the cost, the selling price, etc. But they are now a thing of the past. That has been overtaken by events. We now have gadgets that can do that. So in your running your business, you have to make sure that you are remaining relevant. So the reason why we have 70% of SMEs failing is their inability to adjust and adopt and adapt to new things that avail themselves in the market. These are the fundamental issues and points that are so much critical on the running of your business part. I want to move on to my 4th point, the other R. But before I do so, allow me to welcome Ebet Kambamura and Joseph Mataruka to the conversation. You can unmute your phones and speak to us, Joseph. Okay. Allow me to open for questions. Nyasha and Greta, do you have any questions in terms of running?
Thank you. Nothing so far.
Yeah, I'm okay.
You are okay. Is this making sense?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Great, thanks. I'm moving on to my 4th R, which is risk. For whatever that you are doing to qualify under entrepreneurship, there should be some form of risk that you bear in that particular endeavor. We may have read of great company failures in the world, and even in Zimbabwe, to be specific. An entrepreneur must be prepared to face the risk associated with this journey. There are quite a number of risks associated with running your own business. Those operating in Zimbabwe, and I understand in the United Kingdom, you also have risks that are inherent in any business. There is no business that doesn't have a risk. But those that are operating within our motherland, you can produce a book full of risks that are being encountered in the process. The other risk is our foreign currency or our local currency risk. I can be having money. Actually, you could have sold your vegetables, you could have sold whatever. When you want to convert those bonds to USD, because some of your raw materials to farming can be imported from outside the country. So that amount or that money can be swept over while it's on your way from your farm. So we have got a currency risk in Zimbabwe as we speak. And there are some other risks that we can talk about. So in business, in as much as we have to take some risk, the advice is take manageable risk. Take an amount of risk that you are able to withstand. Am I clear on risk? I don't want to spend much of your time on risk because there are quite a number of risks that we can talk about in any business that we can think about. Let me move on to my P, profit. The simple definition of profit is the amount that is left in your business after having subtracted the cost of sales and any other related expenses. That's your profit. So as you can see, according to the sequence of these truths, profit is at the end. So do not expect to get profit from the onset. You need to follow through the sequence, designing, launching, running, bear the risk involved, and anticipate to get the reward at the end of it all. There is a very great mistake that most SMEs do when they start their business. In as much as you have calculated everything and found to it that this is profit, there is every need to plow back profits for the first 2, 3, 4 months or years, depending with the nature of business that you are talking about. Why do we encourage people plowing back some portions or a greater chunk of their profit? This is for the growth of your company or your business. You need to grow as a company, you need to grow as a business, and the only growth comes from your retained profits that you can be plowing back into the business for its growth. For instance, you can start your business with 10,000 USD. If you continuously take out all the profits that comes out of your business, it means your business is going to remain a 10,000 USD business, because obviously you're not plowing back. And a number of people in business, they are not so much into figures that they cannot or they are not able to compute the profit correctly. And what other people call profit is not profit. It includes some cost of sales. So we need to understand, we need to be well conversant with figures. We need to understand, get the basic understanding of the simple trading and profit and loss account. Be able to calculate your cost of sales. I know when you are starting a business, it's difficult to have an accountant in place. It's difficult to have all the necessary positions filled. You might start your business, the two of you, yourself and your wife, or yourself and your husband. But just my apologies for the glitch. You need to have the basic understanding of numbers. As a person, you need to understand the basic profit and loss, the basic balance sheet. What do you call profit? What do you do with profit, especially when your business is still at the infancy? You need to be plowing back your profit, plowing back a bigger chunk of it. Obviously, you would need some money to use. I understand some of most people, they leave their employment to start their business. You would need some few dollars for sustenance, but you need to balance off between usage and plowing back. The most unfortunate part is we do have people who get into business after having gotten some few dollars. They want to splash. They buy expensive clothes. They buy designer clothes. They quickly buy a vehicle to splash in, disregarding the fact that they need to make sure their business grows first before they do anything else. Spend some time nursing and nurturing your business, obviously using the profits that you get, plow them back into the business so that your business grows, your business gathers momentum, your business becomes so much visible. And one other area that speaks into the profit element or the magnitude of your profits is the major determinant factor is the volume, your top line, the sales, the revenue that you are generating. If you are generating small amounts of revenue on top, don't expect miracles at the bottom line. You will not have enough or the good numbers that can be expected as profits. And how do you grow the top line? I have often spoken in this way in various forums that as you grow and develop your business, you need to network extensively. Network extensively. There is this popular statement that says your network determines your net worth. Indeed, it's true. Once you have productive networks, mutually beneficial networks, and you have developed a mental disposition to convert your contacts, those that are in your phone, into customers. Speak about your business wherever you go. Talk about it. Be it in a lift going to Harare, be it in a combi, be it in a bus. Talk about your business. Who knows? You get 2, 3, 4 clients in the process. So you need to network extensively and be able to convert all your contacts, all the people that you know, into your customers. Imagine if you can manage to do that. How much or by what percentage can you be growing your top line? Ladies and gentlemen, this marks the end of my presentation. I am opening the floor for questions and contributions. Hebet Kambamura, Greta Nyasha, and Joseph.
Yeah, I'm still there, but I don't have any questions yet.
Thank you so much. Okay, you can give us your overall comment of the presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. The examples are quite relevant and invokes some introspection and how you can apply them to your particular circumstance. Yeah, like you're saying, your network determines your net worth. Like especially like I was telling you on the electricity business, it's more of contacts. Just convincing that it's better for you to buy through me than through because if your token doesn't come through, I can there's interface. So just marketing the advantages of doing that. And I was just looking at how I can. I was just writing here notes here and there, adjust, adapt, and adopt. So all those things, I'm just looking at how I can apply them into my specific scenario. So I think it was quite very useful, and I will be joining wherever I can. It's a pity that at the moment I am at work, so maybe you saw some people coming through. Apologies for that. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, we are obviously going to have our Wednesday session. We are going to have the Minister of Environment, Honorable Mangaliso Ngobizitan Lovu, as our speaker, and most probably the Zimbabwe the ZTA president and some other guys. So don't miss it. Greta,
Yes.
was the session beneficial? Your overall comment?
Oh yes, it was. I've definitely learned a lot of things in terms of just as in where you explained everything about the designing, launching, running, risk and profit, that especially as like small businesses, the best thing also is to put back profit revenue back into the business, and obviously to always measure your risks as well. Yes, so it was pretty good.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Greta, I hope next week you'll be having 10 people from the United Kingdom that you'll invite to the session. Thank you in advance.
Okay, I'll definitely do.
We do have Mr. Mataruka. Mr. Mataruka. Joseph. Hello, Shepard. Anyway, if we don't have any other questions, let me just ask you one question. Are we all on the Transformational Mindset Institute WhatsApp group for notifications and some continuous update? I do writings almost on a daily basis of personal development and entrepreneurship, posting them on these groups. These can be useful in your business and personal life endeavor, as we continuously upgrade and update each other on a daily basis.
Yes, I am on. Yeah.
Okay, for those that are not part of it, you can WhatsApp me your contact details or your phone number that you want added on a WhatsApp group so that you can be part of it. But otherwise, thank you so much, Greta Karimanzira, for connecting from the United Kingdom. I really like the approach to your business and how you are well conversant with the systems and the operational nitty-gritties of the business that you're running, and your zeal and desire to spread wings, especially the crossing of borders issue. There are a lot of people, small business people from Zimbabwe, who even doesn't think outside their geographical town in terms of looking for some other business opportunities. They are so much confined within their boundaries, as if it needs a passport to move from Harare to Kadoma, from Kadoma to Zishawane, from Zishawane to Kwekwe and Chipinge. We need to be crossing borders. People from here should be exporting our products or services to other countries and bring in the necessary and much needed foreign currency that we need. The reason why probably we think that way is lack of exposure to some kind of platform where we tell people that it is indeed possible. We should be so much aggressive. Zimbabweans should be known for pestering other governments, wanting to get into some synergies, linkages, mutually beneficial agreements with some players in those countries, so that we expose whatever that we are doing from this side to those guys, be it our services, be it our products. So Transformational Mindset Institute's main aim is to challenge the conformity ideologies that have done wrong to quite a number of minds, because we are only schooled and trained to write a very good CV, not a very good business proposal. We are quite good at writing CVs, wanting to queue for employment elsewhere. So as an institute, we are capacitating people with skills, tangible and practical skills, and we are also following up on the people that we would have trained. So far, we have trained over 100 entrepreneurs in various businesses, and they've got their register. We follow them through to see whether they are applying what they would have learned from the institute. So allow me at this point to thank you all, Greta there, Nyasha, Hebert, and Maturukwa, for attending this session. We have recorded the entire session in our Zoom cloud account, and immediately after this session, I'm going to be sharing it on our Transformational Mindset Institute WhatsApp group, and I'm also going to put another link on our YouTube. Thank you so much, and I value your participation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
This marks the end of our presentation.